Alright, really good channel, Mudfossil University, very relevant to my own research. I discovered this guy a couple of years ago, got a lot of interesting material. I was watching this video yesterday, uploaded 2 days ago. It kind of caught my eye. Dragons in every culture in history, so what are the tales and is there evidence? So, I've already watched this video, and I kind of wanted to do a notes comparison. So what's good about this guy is he's very switched on. And it's good to encounter, to come across these people on YouTube every now and again, where they are switched on. He's switched on, but he's not quite tuned in terms of what he's seeing, and he's kind of a little bit wide of the mark with some of the stuff that he thinks he's seeing, but I kind of noticed that some of the stuff he's seeing is not what he's seeing, and kind of like he's not seeing it correctly, but he definitely knows this stuff. He knows there is stuff there in the landscapes, etc. So I kind of wanted to compare notes a little bit and just kind of compare what he believes he's seeing to what I believe I'm seeing in the same examples that he's putting up in his video.
What is the reality of dragons? What is it? Every single culture has 100%, and I mean 100%. When I showed you the list of dragons, it'll blow you away. It did me. I didn't realize they had that many dragons. I mean, I know that everybody talked about them, but I didn't know they talked about them like this. There is so much detail here. It's just incredible. And when I show you the detail of the actual dragons that were here, and I will show you the detail, and I even have a dragon scale right here. So we are going to talk about dragons, and I'm going to show you dragons, not just one, but more than one. And I will show you that actually, yes, they did spit fire. And dragons were real and really, really big. So let's get started. These are the list of dragons. West African dragons. They had them all over the place. Egyptian ones, the Nagas, the Southern African, the European dragons. Everybody had a dragon. I mean, they were everywhere. They were literally everywhere. And every Hungarian, Italian, Lithuanian, Polish, Spanish, everybody had them. And in America, we had them too. And Quetzalcoatl is the main one in America. Look at all these dragons. How could any possible mind discard all this and say, oh, these people are just silly? They didn't take it as silly. They thought it was very serious. And where's Quetzalcoatl? Quetzalcoatl is from the Aztec mythology, had a dragon-like aspect. Well, I can show you, yes, he did have a dragon-like aspect. All right, this is written about in Apollodorus. Now, there's little differences here and there, but not much. Typhon runs all the way from here, across North Africa, way out to the tip of his tail right there. All the way across there. And he's attacking this fish here. And it ate right into the fish's vital flesh, which is right here. Now, here's his head. Now, I've seen this so many times, it just pops. If you've never seen it, well, his nose bumps way up like this, and that's exactly what he's portrayed as. His nose comes way up, and his head comes around, all this flashing stuff, and then it runs all the way down his body, which I will show in a second. This little flashy thing is the thing that you see on the parades of all the dragons that runs down their side. All right, now, all this right here, from here down, is just bloody runoff. Above here is his head and his neck. And the neck runs forever. This is the neck right here. This is the throat. All the way down into his gut, which is down here. And the tail runs off here. And that is the dragon's scaled tail right here. Let it focused in. You see that? Now, if you understand about blood, you understand blood is primarily made of transition metals, which are all of these different colors. And those different colors had puddled down in, the blood had puddled down right in here and is running out between the scales. These are dragon scales. Now, that's not just some kind of hill and valley. No, absolutely not. And these are different layers of scales. This thing was armor plated like unbelievable, and this one is too. Anyway, this is a dragon, and that is his tail, way out here, and that's actually feathers. That's why it's so green. So he had little feathers on the tip of his tail. That's my interpretation. His legs are the thighs of a human. That's exactly what they said. The thighs of a human. This is his throat. Comes all the way down here. Now, these are also dragon scales up here. Again, this is his throat. These are the scales. And you see how they're hinged every so often? That's so he could bend his throat. You see? These are all the hinges. And these are dragon scales. These are not just hills and valleys. And right in here is where he ate things. It's a pretty good sized throat. And that ran all the way down until it got cut by Zeus and his great and mighty sword. All the way down his throat. This is all dragon scales. All of this stuff is just the bloody gooey stuff that runs off of a dead, decaying body. These are the scales. Now, down below here is the gash right across there. Now that gash, in the ancient text, it claims that gash was put in there by Zeus with his great and mighty sword. And that right there, my friends, is blood. That's the red raw blood. That's the black vein blood. Notice the difference. You see how this is the actual blood. This is just runoff. This is what they call effluent. It's just a mix of matrix of bloody goo that runs out of something dead. This is different. This is the fire he spit. Coming right out of here. All right, look at what came right out of here, right out of his beards. Actually, it comes right from the two beards. You see that stuff? Now that combusted on his back, the fish down below. And don't forget, these are the two beards coming, and they show him with his beards right in the same place. He spit all that stuff down at the fish. This is the gigantic fish. You see that fish? And this is his fin right up at the top. That looks like something that would be the residue of combustion. And it went right onto his fin, right there. And not only did it go onto his fin, it ate into his vital flesh right down here. The fin is just sort of something that's extra. And it doesn't have a whole lot of bloody matrix in it. However, this is different. This is his back. And that has flesh. Hold on one second and I will show you some biology. Okay, this is the exact event that was written about in Apollodorus, how Typhon was attacking the gods, and they were so afraid they turned themselves into animals. And this turned into a fish, apparently, and got hit by his flaming, whatever you want to call it, fiery nastiness from a dragon. And it ate into here. We're going to actually look at the blood vessels and everything. Now, I want to show you one other thing. I said there's more than one of these, and yes, there absolutely is, because we have Quetzalcoatl on the east coast of the United States. And here he is right there. is Quetzalcoatl. And this is his headdress right up here. Alright, there's his nose and all that stuff. And here's his beards. And here's his throat. Goes all the way up around, all the way up around, all the way up around. It wraps around and goes all the way up the East Coast. And feathers make things grow green, and these, my friends, are feathers, and these, my friends, are the Green Mountains. Now you have Google Earth. You should be able to do this. I can't hold your hand on all this stuff. That's two gigantic dragons that nobody can account for this. I have no way to account for this whatsoever. They are here. And this one was spitting out something too. Quetzalcoatl spit all this out. This is a dead zone out here. We're going to get into all the details of everything. Because there's much more than this. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Now, this all happened as Atlantis collapsed, and it all ran out here and created the Cape Verde Islands. I wrote a book, well, a paper about it, and a friend of mine has put my papers in books. 2015, I wrote about this being the draining of the Sahara. And there's, again, time's up for today. We're going to go through all the details of all of these things. And what I want you to do is present some questions in the comments. Something valid, something that makes sense.
All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm not trying to in any way debunk, I can't remember his name, Roger, I can't remember his second name, Roger, he's called Roger anyway, so I'm not trying to debunk his videos and his information, but what I'm going to do is, I'm going to kind of, now I've analysed his video about this video titled Dragons in Every Culture in History, so what are the tales and is there evidence? I'm going to, he's presented how he's seeing what he's seeing, and I'm going to now compare notes and present what I'm seeing in contrast to what this guy Roger's seeing on his channel Mudfossil University. So like I said, I'm not trying to debunk. I think I applaud him for being one of those kind of switched on. He's very switched on, so I applaud him for that. And I just feel as though he's still got a bit of trouble tuning in correctly to what he's seeing in terms of what he's seeing. And I think it's because he's probably not looking in great detail at what he's seeing. He's not analysing everything else that's going on. He's kind of like focusing, he's latching onto one area, and then he's not kind of he's kind of seeing stuff with a kind of blinkered eyes. So he straight away makes an assertion that he knows what he's seeing, like he talks about Zeus, etc. And then he's basically trying to match that up with the fantasy element, or the ancient texts, which aren't fantasy, but he's trying to match it up with what he knows about from the ancient texts, and he's trying to match everything up that he's seeing, which is fair enough. I mean, that's a good thing to do, but he's not noticing there's a whole load of other stuff that's going on around the areas where he's looking, and he's not noticing things, and that's what I'm going to point out now in my video. Like I said, I'm not trying to debunk him. I'm not trying to kind of in any way belittle his own research. He's probably a busy guy. He's probably not got the same amount of time to devote to what I have. So I'm able to look at things in more detail and analyze the landscape a lot more. Probably, I'm not sure. But he doesn't seem to be noticing a whole load of other stuff, and he's seeing, like, for example, a fish that there is no fish. There's no fish there. He mentioned also there's a few areas where he's mentioned Quetzalcoatl in Mexico, and also he thinks he's seen scales on the fish. So I'm gonna show what I'm seeing and point out what I'm seeing in the video in the same landscape that he's analysed in his video.
freebeats.io. Get this beat untagged for free at freebeats.io. freebeats.io. Get this beat untagged for free at freebeats.io. Get this beat untagged for free at freebeats.io. 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 Get this beat untagged for free at freebeats.io. freebeats.io.